Hello everyone, I'm GXZ, the dishes I'm going to make. Tonight are laffa stir-fried eggs and stir-fried beef tendon. So please listen to me rambling on. After a day of high-intensity work, the lights in the office building gradually went out, and the entire building slowly faded away from the hustle and bustle of the day. I followed the massive crowd of people leaving the park and plunged into the thick dusk of Shenzhen at night. The streets during rush hour are always crowded, with the honking of motor vehicles, the conversation of pedestrians, and the shouting of shops on the street intertwined, forming the never-ending background sound of this city. The long commute feels like an additional expense squeezed into the crowded subway cars with almost no gaps between people. As the cars shake and bounce, the exhaustion accumulated throughout the day accumulates layer by layer. Along the way, my mind was still filled with work, the backlog of unfinished tasks, the tedious chores of last-minute additions, and a cautious way of getting along in the workplace. One thing after another hovered in my heart, making it impossible for me to truly relax. It was as if my brain was always in a state of standby operation, and even armament of emptiness had become a luxury. Until the footsteps finally stopped at the bottom of the rented small building, climbed up the slightly old stairs, took out the key and opened the door. The thick door panel clicked and closed, completely isolating the external disturbance, pressure and restlessness, and having a completely peaceful time and space of its own. Unloading the heavy backpack on my shoulder, exhaustion swept over me in an instant. The small rental house is my only place to stay in the vast Shenzhen area, and it is also the most authentic reflection of the lives of countless lower-class drifters. Rent remains high all year round, accounting for a significant portion of monthly income. In addition, various expenses such as water, electricity, gas, daily commuting, and daily purchases require careful calculation and budgeting in one's mind. As the most ordinary and unremarkable grassroots worker in this city, I live a rigid life of 2 points and one line day after day, working from sunrise to sunset, earning a meager fixed salary, and doing repetitive and tedious basic work that is physically and mentally exhausting. There are no glamorous positions, no decent salaries, and no relaxed and free work pace. We spend all our time and energy every day just to maintain astable livelihood. Eating out is not only expensive, but the assembly line style fast food has a bland taste and can never replicate the warmth in the heart. After thinking about it, the most healing and down-to-earth way is still to step into Asmo kitchen and cook along awaited home Hunan dish by hand, drifting thousands of miles. What sustains me through countless dry and exhausting moments is never an unattainable dream, but the local flavor engraved in my bones, the unique comfort of fireworks belonging to my homeland. The kitchen of the rental house is particularly cramped, with limited space for turning around. The kitchen utensils are simple, plain and old, without exquisite household appliances, but filled with the daily smoke and fire, hiding my most peaceful and gentle presence in the city. Turning on the gas stove, the light flickers gently, and the fireworks rise slowly. The orderly process of preparing meals is the only time of the day when you don't fave to chase the rhythm. As the ingredients are stir-fried in the pot, the rich aroma of Hunan cuisine gradually spreads in the small space, and the familiar taste seeps into my heart through my breath. The nerves that have been tense all day finally relax slowly. The time standing in front of the stove is one of the few moments of healing that belongs entirely to oneself in a day. There is no need to look at people's faces, no need to be forced to work overtime to catch up with progress, no need to ponder complex human relationships, no need to deal with the ups and downs of workplace relationships. Only the meal in front of me remains in my eyes and heart, pure and peaceful. The flames gently licked the bottom of the pot, creating a soothing sound as the pot was stir-fried. Time seemed meant to slow down quietly at this moment, and all angsty ties were enveloped in the gentle, warmth edge of the fireworks. My thoughts surged uncontrollably, and all the scattered thoughts that had been hidden in my heart for a long time also surfaced at this moment. I often think of the way I left my hometown with enthusiasm and longing. When I was young, I always thought that big cities were full of opportunities. As long as I was willing to endure hardships and work hard, I could create my own world with my hands and let my distant family live a relaxed and stable life. Only after truly rooting in Shenzhen and experiencing hardships did they fully understand that what the world sees is always the glory of this city, while the vast majority of ordinary people from other places silently struggle to survive at the bottom of the city. There is never a shortage of hardworking people here, let alone young dream chasers. Talent clusters and competition are everywhere. Without strong education, scarce skills, and network support, one can only be trapped in basic positions, consuming their youth and physical strength day after day, busy from morning till night every day, physically and mentally exhausted, often encountering temporary overtime or sudden work. Even eating a hot meal on time has become a luxury. Staying up late and working overtime is the norm, but overtime subsidies are scarce, and salary increases are minimal. Even if one is full of grievances, they can only silently accept and persevere. The fellow townsmen and colleagues who rush to Shenzhen to work together have changed one after another, and some cannot withstand the continuous high pressure and long lines. They pack their bags and return home completely, returning to a stable small-town life. Some people wander between different companies and positions, repeatedly encountering obstacles and feeling lost, unable to find a stable home. There are also people who grit their teeth and carry on just like me, silently sticking to their ordinary positions, occasionally chatting with familiar friends. We never talk about the beauty and surprises of life, but always about high rent, struggling salaries, endless running around, and uncontrollable anxiety. Every sentence is a helpless expression of adulthood. I have also had countless thoughts of giving up late at night, missing the leisurely pace of life in my hometown, the warm th of being surrounded by family and friends, and the days when I didn't fave to bear all the storms alone. After the thought flashed by, I could only sigh helplessly and silently suppress all the wavering and retreating. Behind us are the hopes of family, the burden of life, and the hometown that we cannot return to. The road ahead may seem like there are countless choices, but in reality, we are caught in a dilemma step by step. The adult world is never free to do as we please, but is full of hardships and can only be overcome on our own. Not long after, steaming hot home-cooked meals were served on the small dining table. A simple desktop, a lonely bowl and chopsticks. A peaceful room solitude has long been the norm of my life in Shenzhen, and it is also the daily routine of countless migrant workers, slowly taking Asiat, savoring this familiar local flavor. The unique flavor melts layer by layer on the tip of the tongue, and the warm th flows down the throat into the stomach, gradually soothing the exhaustion of the body and the coldness in the heart. While dining quietly, let the thoughts in my heart flow freely, and countless small emotions surge. Endless lie. Having drifted away for years, I have long been completely accustomed to eating alone, traveling alone, bearing pressure alone, and resolving all grievances alone. When scrolling through short videos and watching social media, one can always see scenes of family reunions, friends gathering, and lively moments. It's hard not to feel envious and envious of those who don't have to be alone or work hard. However, putting down your phone, you still have to face your own cold and plain life. For so many years, I have developed the habit of reporting good news, but not bad news, by talking to distant family members on the phone and video. Always deliberately choose easy and pleasant topics to chat about. Deliberately conceal one's fatigue and embarrassment. Never talk about the grievances of work, the difficulties of life, and the lone lines of late night. Thousands of miles away, my loved ones have no way of knowing how tight and difficult I have been living in this bustling city. I have no way of knowing the confusion and helplessness of countless nights. All the sadness, grievances, helplessness, and fragility are quietly hidden in my heart, turning into silent sighs when alone. In this high-consumption, fast-paced city, every penny of income comes exception ally hard, soaked in sweat and exhaustion. In daily life, one is extremely frugal and saves whenever possible. They are reluctant to buy new clothes for themselves, spend money on entertainment and relaxation, or occasionally reward themselves. Even for a small daily item, they will repeatedly compare prices and hesitate. It's not that I intend for a relaxed and comfortable life. It's not that I didn't trade for carefree days. It's just that I carry the responsibilities and pressures of ordinary people on my shoulders, and the road under my feet cannot tolerate any relaxation or indulgence. I also often fall into endless confusion, repeating boring and tedious work day after day, running around on the same commuting road every day, doing similar work content, wasting the most precious youth time, but never seeing a clear path ahead. Although I have been working hard, gritting my teeth and persevering, and living cautiously, my life still has made much progress. It still can't get rid of the tight and embarrassing situation, and I'm still hovering at the bottom. Occasionally, I can't help but doubt myself and repeatedly ask myself what the meaning of leaving my hometown and running around all year round is. Did I overestimate my abilities and underestimate the cruelty of living in big cities from the beginning? But all the confusion and perplexity ultimately cannot withstand the weight of reality. After feeling emotional, we still need to eat this hot meal well and pack up our mood to continue moving forward. Because after dawn, new hustle, new busyness, and new pressure will come on time. Life never gives people time to indulge in emotions. Slowly finish dinner, carefully tidy up the table, and wash and return the utensils one by one. The clear water slowly washed over the porcelain dishes, making a monotonous and gentle sound that was infinitely amplified in the quiet room, making the surroundings even quieter. After tidying up, I walked slowly to the window and looked up at the deep night outside. At this moment, the entire city of Shenzhen has already been illuminated by thousands of lights, with high-rise buildings lining up one after another, streets flowing with cars, neon lights flashing and dazzling lights, outlining the ultimate prosperity of this city. Looking forward to the endless, lively lights. What surges up in my heart is endless alienation and sadness. These countless lights contain thousands of dream chasers who, like me, have left their hometowns and rushed here, witnessing the hard work and perseverance of countless people. However, looking at the bustling night scene, there is not a single light shining, only for ordinary people, drifting in a foreign land. In the darkness downstairs, there are still countless people walking incessantly. Delivery riders shuttling back and forth, sanitation workers on duty all night, workers who have just finished, working overtime all night, and strangers dragging suitcases. Everyone is striving to move forward for 3 meals to eat, for trivial life, and for the faint expectations in their hearts. Watching these strangers rushing around on the same frequency, a deep resonance arose in my heart. It turned out that I was never the only one gritting my teeth and carrying on. In this vast and cold city, every ordinary low worker silently struggled in their own trajectory, enduring similar exhaustion, loneliness, and helplessness. The anxiety of age also lingers in my heart all year round. As I grow older, without solid core skills and impressive resumes, the pressure of survival only increases in Shenzhen, where there are abundant talents and survival of the fittest. I never dare to take leave easily, slack off at will, or even have the idea of resigning. I know that I have no way out, and once I stop, I may be trapped by life and eliminated by reality. In the workplace, one should always be cautious and careful step by step. Even if faced with injustice or grievances, one can only silently endure and have no one to rely on or support them. All storms and difficulties can only be borne by oneself. The night gradually deepens. The hustle and bustle on the surface of the city gradually fades away, and the busy streets in the daytime gradually become quiet, with only scattered lights still flickering quietly in the night. The warm fireworks from cooking have completely faded away from the room, leaving only the cool and peaceful atmosphere that belongs solely to one person. The evening breeze slowly seeps through the window gap, soothing the surging emotions in my heart. The anxiety, confusion, fatigue, and petty grievances accumulated all day long slowly settle and dissolve in my heart. I have always known that I am just a tiny speck of dust in this bustling city. Ordinary, plain, unremarkable, without a dazzling halo, without extraordinary talent, and without smooth life experiences. All we can rely on is the brute force of ordinary, people who are not afraid of hardship, and the perseverance of not willing to easily bow down and be mediocre. Day after day, the work is monotonous and boring. Life is filled with the trivialities of daily necessities, the embarrassment of meager salaries, the loneliness of being alone, and the confusion of unknown paths ahead. Fatigue and helplessness have long been the norm of life. It is precisely this arduous and mundane daily routine that gives this handmade Hunan cuisine an irreplaceable meaning. It has already surpassed the basic function of satiety. It is the gentlest bond connecting me with my distant homeland, the best medicine to solve my long homesickness, and the tiny confidence that has supported me to persevere through countless difficult days. Familiar rural flavor entering the throat can instantly awaken the deepest sense of belonging in the heart, recalling the customs and traditions of the hometown, the lively and warm atmosphere at the dinner table in childhood, and the peaceful time spent with family. It allows the wandering and helpless soul to temporarily find a gentle harbor to stop at. The tranquility of late night is the most healing and suitable for settling emotions. The tension of the workplace, the fatigue of commuting, the trivialities of life, and the countless thoughts in the heart all slowly return to peace at this moment, slowly understanding the wandering life of adults is half about running around and working hard, half about being alone and enjoying oneself, the regret of having requests but not being able to, the lone lines of having no one to empathize with, the helplessness of struggling but achieving little, and the warm age of fireworks and the gentle touch of self-healing. This city is large enough to accommodate the dreams and struggles of millions of people, and to accommodate the ordinary lives of all ordinary people. The city is also very small. Even a small rental house and a warm home cooked meal can sustain a person's entire life and expectations. I have already learned to reconcile with my current life and my ordinary self, no longer pursuing unattainable wealth and prosperity, no longer fantasizing about a quick comeback in life, shedding the impatience and greed of youth, only hoping that life can be peaceful and smooth, distant family members can be safe and healthy, and I can steadily move forward in the daily hustle and bustle, not letting down my own efforts and the expectations of my family. The emotions that surge in the middle of the night, the broken thoughts that go unanswered, and the occasional moments of collapse will eventually be slowly smoothed out and gently accepted by the fireworks of the human world. For every migrant worker in Shenzhen, happiness is never a grand feat, but hidden in the warm th of 3 meals a day, in the healing of familiar local flavors, and in the stability of self-healing solitude. The night is getting deeper and deeper, and the lights of thousands of households outside the window are still dazzling and moving. The whole city is accumulating tomorrow's vitality in tranquility. All fragility and confusion have dissipated, leaving only peace and determination in the heart. Countless ordinary late nights, countless moments of self-healing, peek at together the complete daily routine of ordinary deep drifting. Even though the days are still tedious and busy, the road ahead is still unknown and confused, and I will still take every day of life seriously, with exhaustion and fragmented emotions in my heart, waiting for the dawn of the next day. I will still carry the faint but never extinguished expectations in my heart, rush to the new dawn and dusk, continue to work hard and live seriously in the city, slowly settle and move forward in the ordinary fireworks